Every time we have this conversation, hearts are breaking, face to face, but we don't know how to face it. Yeah, we're done, but we're too afraid to say it. Time is racing. Every time we have this conversation, fable chasing, write the story, but I just can't copy paste it. Almost perfect, but not adjacent. Time is racing, babe, and I don't want you to waste it. In my car, driving down the Sunset Boulevard, pretty in that sundress.
Hey guys, welcome back to Twisted Tidbits. It's Jordan.
It's Logan.
And boy, do I have something in store for you guys tonight.
Ooh, I've been waiting all day.
But first, Logan, I would love for you to tell everybody and update us about your job and tell us how you're enjoying it.
Yes, so I am loving my job. It has taught me so much, and there is a lot to learn. It is a very hard job, but they are really helping me and guiding me to where I can actually be the best, like a good designer, one of the best, to where I'm advanced. And I love it so much. I love the company. They're awesome. They train. They really help you out. So yeah.
Well, I'm happy. I of course know about all this stuff because I've been talking to him. But
Yeah.
without further ado, get ready.
But there's something I don't know about.
Yeah. I have a surprise, and it's like kind of a nice one, I guess, because we got another email from a viewer. And
Awesome.
I will say it is a very, very deep email. So if you are not into the tear jerkers or hearing about physical, mental, sexual, any kind of abuse, now is the time to leave. This almost completely left my mind. I was gonna say, whenever we get emails from now on, if you do not put in there that you want your name to be said, we will not include your name. We will put aliases because the safety of our viewers is the number one priority for
Absolutely.
us. So,
we want them to feel comfortable.
Yes, this is a safe space. Sorry,
Exactly.
I was trying to pull this email up and talk at the same time.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I'll say this is a good, 7 or 8, 5 or 6 paragraphs or more. It's a lot. When we got it, I was like, oh my god. And I told Logan, I was like, you're not reading this. I want to read it to you because I want your raw reaction. Because I cried. I cried reading. He just sneezed. I cried reading this. But the puppy sneezes is going to be the cute thing to make you smile. So, let's get into this.
Love the glasses.
Thank you. She didn't say if she wanted her name to be said, so for this, we are going to call her Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Hi. Thank you for emailing in. We appreciate it. And
absolutely.
We really hope that what we have to say or us telling your story just makes you feel better. Sometimes your story being put out there, even if it's not under your name, just it finally being told to people, that just makes you feel better.
Absolutely. So with that is we want to thank you because you giving time to write this email to us. It's just a great honor, and we really do appreciate that.
We do.
It really means a lot.
And we will be going throughout it. We'll be stopping periodically because, I mean, this is going to be a lot to take in because it's literally from the time she was a child until, I mean, I guess now, up until her life. So, I mean, it's a lot. We will stop periodically throughout to discuss and have a mental break because we will probably need a mental break in this. But
Duly noted.
so, without further ado, let's get to Emma's story.
Okay.
Emma wrote in and said, "Hi, I'd like to tell you both about the first time I was sexually assaulted." She's jumping right into it. I was about 8 or 9. I wasn't sure what sex was. Never heard the word or anything. Well, let's just say someone in my family took my innocence, and no one knows to this day who did it or that it happened to me. The next time, I was about the same age, and it was by another family member. Okay, that's a lot. Because, I mean, families, you're supposed to trust family. Family's supposed to be people you trust, not people who break that.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, excuse me, sorry.
Oh, you're okay.
Whew. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, one of my family members taught me about sex and did things with me, and people know who it was and what they did, but it still hurts to this day.
I mean,
It
it's
does.
always gonna hurt.
Anything that I have happened to me that was sexually abuse at all has affected my relationship.
Yep.
And I'm still fighting it. I'm still fighting those demons.
It's hard to fight them. But you're doing good.
Yeah.
You're doing good. And Emma, I bet you're doing good now too.
I
But
hope so.
let's get to the next part.
Okay.
So she said, the next time by another family member. I remember being held down by this person in the floor who was just 3 years older than me at the time. I wanted to scream, but no one was in the house. I fought and cried. No one could hear me, and he forced me to perform oral sex on him. I have nothing to do with that person to this day. Those two people ruined me and my outlook on physical love and affection. And that is the first paragraph.
Jesus.
That's that could definitely ruin you. Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Well, in 2016, she finally moved 4 hours away to be at home with her family. But about a year after she moved, it says she got into a relationship with a guy who she said that we will call Mark. Everything was amazing with Mark at first. But then he started putting me down emotionally, mentally, and just everything. He put his hands on me, slapped me on many occasions. I distanced my I distanced myself from my family that I moved to be with. I worked right by my father and I never even went to see him. I literally never spoke to them or anything. This guy put me down, hit me, and emotionally abused me. I thought that's what love was. I was so scared to leave until one day I finally called my friend to come and help me. That's a lot. And I mean, I will say I'm a crier. I'm not. It takes a lot to make me cry, but the further we get into this, like this is getting to me, but the further we get, it's just gonna make it worse.
Give me a second here. I just want to say I understand that. With my exes, I didn't really speak to my family. My brother was only like 6 minutes away. My sister was 2 minutes away. And that relationship abused me in every way possible. And
It'll
I
mentally tear you
understand that.
down.
And I had to have my friends and my brother help me to get out of that relationship. So I understand it.
No,
And I'm so sorry you had to deal with that because I know how it feels.
no one should ever have to deal with it. Oh, I'm getting emotional now. Okay, so I got out of that. Well, finally, I called my friend to come help me. So she finally got out of that. She said, so I got out of that. And my dumbass didn't want to be alone. So in 2019, I got into another relationship. We can call him Derek. This guy,
I'm
I
sorry, I
thought
hate the
was.
word Derek. I hate the name Derek.
I get it. I know
I've
that.
known a
I
couple that
know.
are assholes, so
Um,
sorry.
you're good. This guy I thought was the one. But don't we all? When we were 20. I had a few that I thought were the one, and turns out God decided to drop a pebble on my head, more like a boulder, and say no. Um, oh, well, let's just say in this relationship, I almost ended my life more than once. It was fight after fight. He always found something to fight with me about. I finally decided to leave when he threw a box full of stuff at me while he was belligerently drunk. And that's the last of that relationship. Okay, this is where it gets really deep. So, grab your booty and hold it on and try and stay with me. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Since then, I've been essayed, so sexually assaulted twice. Once by someone who drugged me and was supposed to be my friend that I knew for 2 years. He gave me a gummy and an alcoholic drink. I think it might have been laced with something. All I remember is the world spinning, and I couldn't focus or keep my eyes open. He led me to his room after I think an hour. I don't remember, but I remember just thinking, okay, we're gonna go to sleep. Well, I was wrong. He came and got in the bed, put me on my back, and when I asked what he was gonna do, he said, we're gonna have some fun. I remember saying, no, please, I don't want to. He told me to relax. I could barely move from whatever I was given. I was scared and had no idea what to do. I was screaming on the inside, but on the outside, nothing was coming out. He undressed me, and when I fought or tried to move, he would grip my arms harder. I had to wear a long sleeve in the summer just to hide the bruising. I finally stopped resisting with him and just turned everything off because I just physically and mentally couldn't cope with what was happening to me. Oh my god. I don't even know what to say to that.
I don't either.
You can't trust anybody anymore. It doesn't matter who. Doesn't matter how long you've known them. Nothing. Oh.
Nope.
She said the next day I woke up and knew I needed to get out of there. So I did, and I fucking ran. As you should.
Yes, absolutely.
Alright. Now we will come to the most recent that has happened to me. It was about 3 years ago. Almost. I went to hang out with a guy I'd been talking to for a while. We decided to cook out, talked like you casually would as friends. Well, the night was coming to an end, and she was getting ready to say her goodbyes. She decided to give him a hug and said, "Talk to you later," and he shut the door on her way to get out. I remember backing into a wall. There was nowhere else to go. Girl, this next sentence I would have done. But I know when fear kicks in, you don't know what to do. But she said, maybe I should have grabbed the pool stick that was next to me. But if I did that, I probably would have been shot because he had a gun. I tried to move away and he grabbed my throat, flashed his gun, and told me if I screamed no one would be able to hear me. I was scared for my life, so I complied. He forced my clothes off of me, and I kept resisting and fighting until he hit me. I honestly was scared. He wasn't gonna let me leave after that, but he did. I'm still, to this day, have never reported it because I'm scared for my life.
You know, a lot of people are like, you need to report this, you need to report this.
It's not
But
that
the
easy.
thing is, it's not that easy.
It's not.
And so my issue is people want me to report it and charge them. But what is that going to do? Yeah, I may feel a little bit better, but I'm digging up my past stuff that I've already had to deal with today, but like bringing it more back to where I'm getting really messed up in the head. Like,
Yep.
when you feel like you want to do that and you feel like you're okay doing that, then you do it. Do not feel like you have to just because someone says. It is your choice. You have to be ready.
I mean, you also got to take into account, like, you don't realize who's going to come after you when you do that. Sometimes.
Nope.
Your life could be in danger no matter what you do. And it's sad.
Yeah.
But the next part goes on to a more higher note.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, we're going to end it on a high note. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Emma. I appreciate it.
Definitely need a high now.
She says, now my life is better than ever. I'm in an amazing relationship with the love of my life. He has never laid a hand on me and has treated me like a queen. I know it's not been easy for him to love me, probably, with how emotionally and mentally damaged I am. He has picked up the pieces that he has not had to, and I can't thank him enough for it. The love I have for this man is infinite. I never really knew what love was until I met him, because what we have is true. And then she says, when you're in the deepest part, deepest, darkest part of your life, you really don't care about anything or anyone but the person who's abusing you. I've realized that. It's taken me a long time, but I have. I really hope somebody can take something from this email and realize there's always light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to be ready to pull yourself out of the situation you're in.
Amen to that.
And that is the end of her email.
Sorry, I gotta place that down. I gotta say, I am so glad that you're in a better place. Because I know people that are still in these situations. And
yeah, it's hard to get out of these situations.
When you say you only think about, the abuser, it's true. Because for the longest time... That's what they
brainwash you into.
Exactly. Because the longest time, I was in this relationship for 3 years. My family has told me multiple times that it's not a safe relationship. Well, then when I would go to like family events or see my family, I would be getting a call every 15 minutes from them asking me where I'm at. Because I figured out that the only reason why they were doing that is because they were worried that when I'm alone, other people are going to convince me that I need to leave that relationship.
I know somebody who's in something like that right now.
Me too.
And I wish I could help her, but you've got to be ready on your own. You can't force somebody to be ready.
And then there's also that manipulating you into and brainwashing you into thinking that no one cares about you, only them. They're the only ones that love you. Your family doesn't accept you for who you are.
So they don't accept them, so they don't accept you. I've been through that situation because one of my exes was like that, and I didn't see my family for almost a year. And it was shit. It was crap.
Yeah. Like, looking from then to now, holy shit. Like,
you live and you learn from everything that happens in your life.
Absolutely.
It all happens for a reason. And I hate saying that because some things don't happen for a reason. Like, people hurting other people, that doesn't happen for a reason. You do that because you're dumb. Oh, sorry. You do that because you're dumb and you want to put someone else's life in your hands when it's not your job. Oh. So, let me try my Skittles.
Tell them what kind of Skittles.
Chamoy with tahini. There. Sweet and spicy treats. That's what they're called.
Interesting.
But you guys will not have to see me and Logan in separate venues here soon. Logan's going to be coming to Oklahoma
in August. I'm so excited. Technically a day and a half. Longer than a day and a half. So me and Chad, we're going on a cruise. And we're going with her parents.
Because I'm a poor bitch and can't afford to go anywhere.
We love you, and that's why we're staying later. So we're flying out to Houston, and her parents are picking us up, and then we're going on the cruise. Excuse me. And then we're coming back. We get off the cruise. It's going to be a Saturday. We drive to Oklahoma, which is about 4 hours-ish.
Try 6.5 or 7.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna be
Well,
stuck in the car with my dad that long. You're gonna be sick.
oh goodness gracious.
Love you, Dad,
I
but
hope he watched
you're
this.
driving. Love you, Dad, but you're driving. Sometimes it makes me want to puke.
But
But yeah, Saturday.
and then so Saturday in Oklahoma, and then I will hang out with her, and then we're actually staying the night till Sunday.
Oh,
and then
I
we're
didn't know that.
leaving. Girl, our flights are at 9:00
Oh shit!
on
Yeah.
Sunday. You dipshit. Well, then our flights are at 9:00 at night. We get into Salt Lake almost midnight. We go home. We fall asleep. We wake up at 7:00 that morning.
To go to work.
Because I love you, I'm staying till Sunday.
Yes. And because we love you guys. And the people who support
Yes.
us. The people who don't support us, bye.
Peace
We
out,
know who you
bitches.
are. We know who you are. Goodbye.
No, I wanted to add with the email.
Yes.
We would love, if you're willing to do like either a phone call with us or a video, Zoom, FaceTime, whatever you have. And I kind of want to meet you and talk to you about this. If you're okay with that, please feel free to email us again.
Yeah,
And
because I mean, we would love to talk to you. We'd love to get to know you and share our stories with you.
yeah,
Because I mean, it doesn't even have to be recorded. I mean, we could just take time out of our day. I mean, we want to build a relationship with our viewers.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
the bigger following we get, the more of a relationship we're going to build.
Yeah. With kind of like a little bit of the abuse. So I saw this show. I'm not saying the show, or saw this story. That it happened years ago, but I was listening to it at work, and I cried. I cried at work. So there was this 8-year-old girl. She was locked in a closet for 6 years. Okay, so she was 2. Well, her parents would barely feed her. When they found her, she was in her own feces, urine. There was bite marks in the door frame, and bite marks in the drywall. What?
First off, some people don't deserve to have children. Some people, if you're going to do that to a child, you deserve to rot in hell.
Amen to that.
Like, I could not think of doing that to my kid. Like, if someone did that to my kid, you best bet I'm going to be sitting next to the devil, because I'm going to be hurting you.
See, and this is the sad thing, is this isn't even like the worst of it. It is so sad. So how they found out was one of their close friends, they showed her to them, because they're like, well,
So this
if you
is their
tell, we will
daughter.
kill you. This is the parents' daughter. And they thought that the family thought she was at her, I think, other dad's or something like that, but she wasn't. Like, he had no contact with her, and she was somewhere with her dad. Like, this is what they thought. Or yeah, her dad, because it was her stepdad and mom. And so they pretty much said, if you tell, we will kill you. Well, what did that person do? They told. Like, I can't remember if it's she or he. They found her, like, they looked at her. She was naked, curled up in a ball, in the closet. So they called and reported it. And when they found her,
sad.
she's 8 years old, remind you. She is the size of a 3-year-old. She,
Literally skin and bones.
yeah. Well, then, this is not even the fucking half of it, so it's really sad. So, they got her out, and she's 8 years old. She doesn't trust anyone. Like, the people that she thought she trusted abused her.
Yeah.
So, they got her into therapy. And the therapist, we do what's called play therapy for younger kids. And of course, there was ones where she would take the doll and she'd like punch it or hit it, showing the abuse. Well, then there was a time where she spread the doll's legs and punched where her vagina was. And the therapist was trying to figure that out. Well,
the
then
worst sign.
Yeah. Well, then she was in the hospital for months. Like, they were trying to nourish her because she was so malnourished.
Yeah.
They found plastic in her system. They found drywall. They found wood. Like, anything she could eat.
In a baby girl's belly, nobody's tummy can digest that stuff.
No.
And
Well, then,
oh my god, that makes me so sick.
Oh, yeah. Well, when they got her to the hospital, she had to go through reconstructive surgery because they couldn't tell from her vagina and her ass. So she had to get reconstructive surgery there.
You can't even imagine what they did to her. I don't even want to try and imagine what they did. No one
I can
does.
tell you a little bit. So she told us, or told them, whatever, that there was times that their friends would be there and they would tie her up and do whatever they wanted with her. 8-year-old girl, the body of a 3-year-old.
And there's no telling how long they'd been doing that to her.
Absolutely not.
There's no telling.
Well, then,
they could have been doing that from the time she'd been in there.
Well, like, she was saying, like, there was 3 phases. One, well, remind you, they would tie her up. So there originally was rope, but then she would slowly, like, start to kind of loosen it. Well, then that's when they started doing handcuffs. And so she said there was 3 phases: oral, intercourse, and beating. That is the 3 phases.
How can the people who went and actually did that to her, knowing, like I said before, you deserve to rot in fucking hell. You have a seat next to the devil himself. Because no child, no one, but especially no child should have to go through that, because that is their innocence, and they are going to grow up to think one day that this is okay, or they're gonna not even make it.
Well, she was, because she did come out and talk about it a little bit. Now she's older. I think she's 8, or she was 18 at the time, and this was years ago.
I'm just glad she made it out okay. Even though it wasn't completely okay, she made it out.
Exactly. Well, she also mentioned that she thought that was normal because she was 2 years old when this started. Like, she thought this is how it was supposed to be.
I mean, you take freaking Ed Kemp Ed Kemp, I think. And freaking I don't know who else was by their parent, but I mean, they think those things are normal, and they grew up to be some of the worst people on this planet. Or you're hurting your child and you're putting their life not only in your hands, but the older they get, you're putting their life in their own hands.
Yeah. I was just, wow. Like, the cruelty. Oh, and they also made her eat her own feces.
Heck no. Mm-mm.
And if she didn't, they would beat her.
But anyways, like we said, we wanted to thank you again, and you guys can follow us on Twitter. No, we're not on fucking
We're
Twitter.
not
What
on
a
Twitter,
dumbass. No, but we do need to get on X.
TikTok.
We are on
No.
TikTok. We are on Spotify, Apple Music. I mean, Apple Podcast, right?
Yeah.
And we're on a few more. We have a link tree.
iHeartRadio
Yeah, all I know is we have a link
and
tree in the
YouTube.
comments.
Yeah. Yeah, we have
Chad,
quite a
our
bit.
producer, takes care of that.
He
I
does.
probably need to put that in a notebook so we can start saying it at the end. But yeah, I actually was gonna talk to you once we hit. I would say once we hit about 24, 25 followers. What do you think about possibly doing a Patreon?
The fuck is a Patreon?
I will let your hubby explain that to you. Because I do not have enough brain cells right now to do that. I am very tired.
Okay.
But,
Well, we'll
yes, we're going to get off
we'll
of
let them
here.
go.
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. This is a little awkward. We're going to get off of here. Bye.
Bye.